Hi, I'm Michael. Today I wanted to go over 5 of the most common earring backs and how they work, a little bit about their history. If you like videos like this, please subscribe. Click that bell if you want to get notified when there's more videos being posted. So getting into the different earring backs, these are the 5 most common. There are thousands and thousands of different designers that come up with all kinds of ways to put an earring on an ear, but these are the 5 basic ones that you're most likely going to see. So your first one is going to be your friction back. If you've ever worn earrings, you've probably had one of these. These are usually called either friction backs, push on, or even sometimes butterfly backs. And when you push them on, these little curly cues lock into these little indents on the post. And that's it. It's pretty much your most common earring back. It works, it's tried and true, it's great. The problem is if you start getting larger stones, these backs can be too small, and so the stone will start to droop, and you'll have to get larger and larger backs to try and put a padding on the back of the ear so that stone doesn't droop. Usually anything above 2 carat, you start having issues with it not sitting right on the ear. But that's your go-to, your basic earring back that you're always going to have. There's thousands of little designs, whether they're coated in rubber or you have the baby backs that push on and twist off and things like that. But that's your basic. The next one's very similar. They used to be called La Facette and made out of Germany. Germany was struggling to keep up with the demand in America for these things. And so an American company bought the machine, and now they're produced in America, and they changed the name to protector backs. And what they are is it's a machine post with a notch in it instead of the indent. And then the earring back itself is a little disc with 2 buttons on it. And you have to push both buttons to release from these 2 notches here. There's 7 moving parts inside of this little earring back right here. If you wear your earrings every day and never take them off, all those components can kind of get gooked up with shampoo and conditioner and lotion and different things. They kind of get a buildup in there, and then they'll stop working, and you'll have to get this earring post cut off. I've done that several times. Not a big deal to get them cut off, but you're only going to need to get them cut off if you're not taking them out and cleaning your jewelry on a regular basis. Otherwise, this is super secure for expensive stones because that cannot come off unless those buttons are pushed. There's no chance of it falling off. The next one that's pretty common, especially for expensive stones, is a screw back. So similar to these, you've got a plate here, and then it'll have a little bar with another hole so that the threads will go through 2 holes. And these thread onto the earring back. There's different sizes. So if you lose your back and you go to a local jewelry store, they're not always going to have the same exact backing that matches the threading of your post. So they might tell you that they're going to have to replace the post with a whole new set because they don't have a backing that matches your post. There's some pretty common sizes, but I still find that depending on the manufacturer, there will be a post that I can't get the backing for because I don't know where they got it from. So be careful not to lose your backings for your screw post because you might have trouble getting another one, and then you'll have to get the whole post and backing replaced. I have seen jewelry stores put friction backs on threaded post. It works for the first time. And what's going to happen is these little things are going to catch on those threads. As you slide over those threads, you're damaging, you're grinding against those threads. So it'll fit tight the first time, and each time you do it, it's going to get a little bit looser until finally it's not working anymore, and now you're going to have to replace the entire post. So that's something you're going to have to keep replacing as you're putting that friction post on there. It doesn't make sense to me to do something where the customer is going to have to come in and replace this post because you're putting a friction back on it. It's not designed for it. It doesn't work in the long term. It's a very short-term solution. Alternatively, I've seen customers who have either lost their back or mixed up their backs without realizing it and put a friction back on there. And again, it damages those threads, and then you go to put a threaded backing on there, and it won't go on because those threads are too far damaged. So if you're using threaded backs, make sure that you're using your proper earring back for it, and don't mix them up. So those are great. They're very popular for the large stones. You just have to be aware of the size you have and your earring backs, and make sure you take care of them. Next one is what's called an omega back. This is going to be your clip-ons. They put pressure by flipping up and grabbing the back of your ear. So a side view of it is they kind of come down and they'll pinch your ear right here. So this would be your ear in between here, and you'll have whatever earring decoration you have on the front side. And then you'll have a little post where it hinges right here and comes down. So from the top view, it's basically a wire shaped like an omega, and you can get paddings. There's different pads that you can either slide on or put in the middle of here, so you have some padding. But this is pretty much what you're normally going to see. A lot of times with silver earrings, it'll be a flat piece of metal, but it's still the same concept of coming down. And so that's your omega back. A lot of the times with your like 18 karat and more expensive stuff that you don't want it clipping on, that you want it more secure, you just put a post right here. And so you'll put it on like a normal post, and then the omega flips over the back of it like an earring back. And so the post will be able to fit right down in the middle, and it goes over the post, and then that holds it onto the back, and then you're just wearing it like a normal post. And you can even use just one of these normal friction back posts. You're just not going to be using the notches because it's going to be coming over the top of it. So our next one is going to be your lever backs. So your lever backs, it's got your wire that comes up and through the ear, and then it's got this lever that opens and closes. So these are great because you can put an earring design along the front of it, maybe just a stud or whatever you like, or you can put something dangling off the bottom of it. So it's very versatile. There's a lot of different designs as far as sometimes they'll have different decorations on the front of it right here, little designs, you know, flowers, even diamonds coming up it or something like that. And so there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but I've seen tons and tons of different variations of that basic design. Next one is going to be what's called a French wire. I've heard them called shepherd hooks, but usually they're French wires, and basically it's got a loop and then the part that comes down your ear, so that way you can dangle stuff right here, a little pearl or something like that, you can dangle off of it. Alternatively, when it doesn't have that, they're usually called bishop hooks. So they'll come down, and then your jeweler can attach or solder on right here to whatever your item is that you want to make as an earring, whatever the design is. Sometimes they can just attach that right there, and then you'll have your wire coming down. So those are the 5 basic, a little bit of history of them, how they work, how to use them. I hope that helps. If you like videos like this, please subscribe. If you want to get notifications, click that bell. Thank you, and until next time, this is Menard Jewelers.